Hey everyone, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to show you how to make this cute little bee. Bees are real fun, real simple. They sell great at markets and I mean they're just so cute and easy to make, so why not? Let's jump into it. So I'm using Parfait Chunky for my yarn. I'm using it in sunshine, black, and white. And then we'll need a little bit of worsted weight yarn. And then I'll be using felt eyes that I made on my Cricut. And then on top of that, I'm using a 4mm crochet hook. Then we'll also need some scissors, a yarn needle, and a stitch marker. And then because I'm using felt eyes, I also have my hot glue gun out. And then stuffing. So let's get started. So we're going to start with our yellow. We're going to start with that magic ring. And we're going to do 8 single crochet. So there's 1, 2, and my little trick for the magic ring with chenille yarn, I pull back a little bit, then pull it through a little without closing up my magic circle yet. And 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I'm going to finish closing that magic circle or magic ring, whichever term you would like to use. So the next round we're going to do 8 increases ending with 16 stitches. (15) and 16. Next round, we are going to do 1 single crochet followed by an increase all the way around, and we'll end with 24 stitches. We'll start with that 1 single, place our stitch marker, and then our first increase, so stitches 2, 3, and continue that all the way around. All right, next row we're gonna do 3 single crochet followed by an increase. We'll end with 30 stitches. And 30. So we have 1 more row of increases that we'll be doing. So we'll be doing 4 single crochet followed by an increase, and we'll end with 36 stitches. And 36. Now we're going to do 2 rows of 36. I'll see you on the other side. Now for our final stitch, because we're going to be changing to black on the next row, I'm just going to pull through, but I'm going to leave both of those loops on my hook. So now we're going to do a color change. So grab your black chenille yarn. So we're going to leave a bit of a tail so I can grab onto the yarn and finish out that last crochet stitch. Then we're going to do 2 rows of 36 with our black. And because we're going to be going back to the yellow, I'm not going to cut it for this color change. I'm just going to leave it attached. A lot of times when I'm changing colors, I will cut the yarn and then tie a knot to keep it secure inside the buddy. But because I'll be going back to yellow in just a couple rows, I don't think there's a need to cut it, and otherwise you just have a bunch of unnecessary knots inside your buddy. Okay, now this first row of black was pretty easy because we could see what stitches we were going into. For the next round, it should still be fairly easy because it's only round 2 of the black, but with black yarn, light is going to be your best friend to see your next stitches. So if you need to get some extra light, a little lamp, a flashlight, something to point at your work so that you've got more visibility, 100% recommend it. Before I do my last stitch, I'm going to come in here and flip my work inside out for a second. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie the black around the yellow just to create a nice secure knot in there so nothing's going to come loose. And then flip it back. And then we're going to get ready to do another color change. So we're going to start that next stitch, but leave those 2 loops on there. Get your black yarn out of the way. Now get your yellow back. Kind of make sure it's nice and tight without pulling too tight to then finish that single crochet. Then we'll do 2 rows of yellow. Last stitch of that second row of yellow. We're going to switch back to our black. For 2 rows. So let's do it. Okay, and last stitch of the black. Black out of the way. Get our yellow back. We're going to finish that stitch off. Now we're done with the black, so go ahead and cut. And we're going to go ahead and do 2 rows of yellow. Now we're done with those 2 rows. I'm going to flip my work inside out again and show you what I'm going to do with that tail to make sure it's nice and secure. So I'm going to take my crochet hook and go under my last color change from that yellow, pull a loop up on my black, and pull through just so it's secured. It's the easiest way I've found to be able to tie a quick knot at the end there. We'll flip our work right side out again. Next up, we are going to do a row of 4 single crochet followed by a decrease. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and our decrease. So remember, we go through the front loop of the next 2 stitches, yarn under, pull through, yarn under, pull through. And we're going to continue that all the way around. We'll end with 30 stitches. And final decrease for 30. Next round is going to be 3 single crochet followed by a decrease. So we've got 1, 2, 3. Show you that decrease again. So you're going to go through the front loop, through the front loop, yarn under, pull through, yarn over, pull through. We'll do that all the way around, end with 24 stitches. Here is where I usually go ahead and start stuffing. And with stuffing buddies, you always want to make sure you're not stuffing too much, just because you don't want to distort the shaping of whatever you're creating. But I also feel like you don't want to do too little, because then it's just going to kind of have some weird lumpy spots on it and just be kind of disproportionate. Okay, next row up, we're gonna do 1 single crochet followed by a decrease. We will end with 16 stitches. And before doing that last row, add a little bit more stuffing. And our final row is going to be 8 decreases. Okay, that was our final stitch. I'm gonna cut a little bit of a tail. Remove that stitch marker. Insert your hook into that first stitch. Pull through, and then continue pulling through, just doing a slip stitch. Then next up, we're going to close our bee. So you'll need your yarn needle. Zoom in a bit here. All right, so what I do is I'm going to insert my hook in the front loop of all of these 8 stitches. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Then pull tight. Make sure that center circle's closed. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert my hook just outside that center and come up again, just kind of securing everything so nothing's going to come loose. And then I'm going to insert my hook right in the center and come out a few rows over. And then make sure I'm in the right spot so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to go over 1 row, over 1 stitch, come back through, leaving a loop, and then I will come up. So I just created a little knot to secure the yarn. I'll go back in through that same stitch that I started in, go in and come out a few stitches over. And I'm going to cut this guy and then push in the rest of the yarn. So now we have the base of our bee. We've got his body. So now we need some wings. So we'll get our white yarn. And we're going to start with our magic ring. But instead of doing single crochets, we're going to do half double crochets, and we're going to do 8 of them. So we're going to loop over, insert, pull up. You have 3 loops on your hook, yarn under, pull through all 3. And then I have a hard time seeing stitches with white, so I'm going to go ahead and put a stitch marker in that first stitch. We're going to continue for 8 stitches. Then we will pull our tail, close up our magic circle. In the next row, we are going to do 8 half double crochet increases. So same as an increase, you're just doing a half double crochet stitch. So yarn over, insert, pull through all 3 loops on your hook, place that stitch. Okay, so now we're going to do 8 half double crochet increases. And we're also going to hide this tail in the stitches as well. So we're going to go yarn over, insert your hook. If I can, geez, okay. So then pull your hook, your tail from the center of your magic ring, pull it over your hook. And then pull your yarn through. Finish that first stitch. So now with each stitch, we're going to make sure that that tail is going to be hidden by your stitch. So we'll do that again. We're going to go over, insert your hook. See that that tail is over my hook. Pull through. You got your first 2. So we're going to do that until the tail is completely gone. There we go. 3. Whoa. That'll happen sometimes. 3. 4. I always kind of pull on the tail after the stitches to make sure it's not getting bunched up awkwardly. 10, 11, 12. By this point, your tail should be nice and secure. So we're going to go ahead and cut it. And then finish the rest of our half double crochet increases. Then we're going to cut a tail that's going to be long enough so that you can sew the wings onto the body. But we're going to finish it off with a slip stitch. Pull that tail all the way through. And you're going to make another one of these. All right, now we've got 2 wings in our body. So we're gonna grab our yarn needle, one of the wings. And then here, so you can do cleaner color changes on little buddies and stuff, but when I'm making these bees, I don't worry about it because the wings are gonna mostly hide those color changes. So we're gonna take our first wing where you have that color change. That's where I'm going to insert my hook and start attaching our first wing. So we'll do first stitch, 2, and then come back for a third. And then I'm going to insert where I started that last stitch and just come back a few rows. And grab your other little wing. I'm going to turn the body around. I'm going to start where that last stitch started. And just do the same with the second wing. Come up 1, 2, and 3. So where the last one started, and so your hook come back out where this first tail was pulled through. So then I'm going to use these 2 tails. I'm going to tie a couple of knots, cut off excess yarn, and then I use my scissors to hide those yarn tails inside the buddy. Now we've got our bee. He's got wings. Now he just needs some eyes. Let me get my hot glue gun going. All right, so now let's attach our eyes. I'm doing felt eyes. So you want to put it on the front. It's going to be the side that that center circle probably looks a little bit prettier than the other. Or if you want to put like a stitch marker when you're working on the buddy to indicate which side is your front. But I'm going to add some hot glue. Back my first eye. Turn around. And then I put it usually about a couple rows away from that center. Honestly, it can go anywhere you feel like it's gonna look cute. So there's one. Okay. And then the other eye to be as even as we can get. Okay. Now we've got our eyes, and then we're going to add a little smile. So this is where our black worsted weight is going to come into play. Just cut a little bit. I know I cut off way too much yarn, but that's okay. I don't ever want to feel like I'm going to run out. So get that on your yarn needle. I do this, I come in somewhere towards the bottom in between a couple stitches, and then we're going to come up. So we're going to try and follow this round up here. So I'll come up in between these stitches over here. So like just right below the eye. Fold through, make sure you're leaving a tail. I'm going to come across and do about the equivalent just under the other eye. And I'll come down along that row about centered. Don't pull tight yet. So we're going to come under our yarn and we're going to pull it down. Make sure it's loose enough so it can kind of create our cute little smile. Now that you're under that yarn, we're going to go back in through that same stitch and out where we came. Don't want to pull too tight. It's enough to kind of hide where that stitch is. And then we'll cut our excess yarn off. Get a couple of knots. Again, I'll use my scissors to hide that yarn inside. There you have it. We have a cute little bumblebee. I hope you had fun with this tutorial. I love making little bees. I think they're so cute. They're easy. They sell fantastic at markets if that's what you want to do. They make great gifts. The felt dies mean they're safe for kids of all ages. And please like and subscribe to my channel. I hope you're having fun with these tutorials. I am having so much fun. And I'll see you next time. Bye.